Welcome back to Hire the Right Virtual Assistant podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Smith, the PVA and author of Hire the Right Virtual Assistant. And if you enjoy the show, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with another business owner who might be buried in work and wondering if hiring the right virtual assistant is the next move. And today I want to tell you to stop looking for a unicorn VA. Hire the one you actually need. And it's something I see all the time when the client begins the hiring process. They are looking for a unicorn. Not literally, of course, but the mythical version of a virtual assistant who can do everything perfectly, anticipate every need, master every technology, never make mistakes, and somehow solve every operational business problem ever. The problem is simple here. Unicorns don't exist. And surprisingly, letting go of that idea is actually the first step in hiring the right virtual assistant. And when clients first hear this, they're sometimes disappointed. It feels less exciting. It feels less magical. After all, it's so much more fun to believe that someone out there is the perfect assistant who can solve everything overnight. But believing in mythical solutions creates unrealistic expectations. And unrealistic expectations are the root of all disappointments. My strategy for matching clients with the right VA, the one that has led to a 98% successful match rate, starts from a much more grounded place. It starts with expecting the expected. Instead of searching for something that doesn't exist, we actually define the characteristics that actually matter in a successful working relationship. And once those expectations are clear, it becomes far easier to identify the right match. And isn't it better to get it right than to wait for perfect? There's an interesting psychological concept called the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. I hope I pronounced that right. It's sometimes referred to as the frequency illusion. You've heard it, I'm sure. It describes what happens when you learn something new and suddenly begin noticing it everywhere. Your brain starts prioritizing that information. Maybe it's a car or a color or a dress or shoes, anything like that, and all of a sudden you see it everywhere. The same thing happens when you clearly define what you're looking for in a virtual assistant. Once your expectations are realistic and specific, the right candidates suddenly become much easier to identify. It's not that they didn't exist before, it's that you weren't looking through the right lens. Searching for a unicorn VA is different. It's a strategy built on unattainable expectations. When you're constantly chasing something unrealistic, you inevitably end up feeling frustrated and defeated and not hiring anyone. In all the years I've worked with clients, I can say with complete certainty that I've never seen someone disappointed when their realistic expectations were met. In fact, the opposite usually happens. Clients feel relief, they feel excitement, they finally experience what it's like to have an assistant that actually works and support that matters. Ironically, the mythical unicorn VA often comes with characteristics no business owner would actually want. When people imagine a unicorn assistant, they often overlook the practical qualities that matter most: reliability, dependability, someone who ensures nothing falls through the cracks, someone who figures out things rather than constantly asks for direction, someone who shows up with the genuine intention of supporting your success. Those qualities are far more valuable than mythical perfection. The right virtual assistant doesn't need to be extraordinary in every possible skill. Every possible skill is not even valuable to you. What matters is that they are reliable, resourceful, committed to helping your business operate smoothly. When you hire someone with those characteristics, the relationship becomes a good working relationship. It becomes a partnership. You can't have a partnership with someone who cares more about their work than yours. You don't spend your time chasing updates or checking on tasks. Instead, the assistant is following up with you, making sure you have everything you need. Everything is running properly. It's their job to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. It's them who are anticipating your needs and understanding what you're going to need next. They take pride in their work, and they take pride in their ability to help you do your job better, because your success reflects their success. Suddenly it becomes a team effort. And this is where something important happens. And I just want to stop right there, because for some of you, you would say, well, that sounds like a unicorn. That sounds amazing. That's one of the best things I've ever heard. Where do I get an assistant like that? But when you stop chasing unrealistic expectations, the process of hiring a virtual assistant becomes much less stressful. It just does. And it actually becomes really great, because you know exactly what you're looking for. Instead of searching for perfection, you're searching for alignment. Someone whose approach, reliability, and mindset match your business needs. And that shift alone dramatically increases the likelihood of a successful hire. You just can't hire someone when you don't even know what good looks like. Now, let's talk about the opposite problem I see sometimes. This is something that also has to be addressed. Occasionally, a client approaches the hiring process with such unrealistic expectations that no virtual assistant could possibly meet them. And I get it. I do. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm not judging you. Maybe you just don't know. But they're expecting the VA to be the strategist, a marketer, an executive assistant, a social media manager, a bookkeeper, a project manager, a technology expert. They want everything, all the things in one person, all at once. And you might have a business where people say the same and expect the same of you, and you would say, that's not realistic. That's not how this works, right? The same is true when you hire other people. But when expectations become that extreme, the search turns into something impossible. The client believes they're actually looking for excellence, but in reality, they're setting themselves up for disappointment. I've even had clients tell me, well, I found it before. Great. Then why are you talking to me? What do you need me for then? You just have to set the right expectations, and you can have your expectations met and even succeed them. It's not about lowering your expectations. It's just about having the right expectations. And this is why I spend a lot of my time helping clients clarify what success actually looks like. What tasks you truly need help with. What responsibilities should someone own? What kind of communication style works best for you? What level of independence do you expect? You see, once these questions actually have answers, the hiring process becomes very productive. It becomes simpler and far more effective. I have clients come to me with this long list of expectations, and I might ask them, let's say they want an executive assistant and a social media manager. Great, tell me about your social media right now. I don't really have one, that's why I want a VA. To them I say, that's not the right answer. That's a whole separate project we got to work out. The goal is not to find a unicorn. That's not it. I can't help you with that. I want to set the expectation right now that is not the goal, nor is that what I can help you with. The goal is to hire the right virtual assistant. And the right virtual assistant often feels like a unicorn. They consistently demonstrate a handful of powerful traits. Again, many of you who have hired a VA in the past, you already know how valuable these traits are. Reliability and dependability. Someone who does the thing they say they're going to do. They make sure important details don't slip through the cracks. They have the ability to figure things out when they get stuck and find out things when something's unfamiliar, instead of constantly bombarding you with questions where you wonder, who's helping who here? They show up with genuine intention of making your life easier. That's actually what the assistant would say most business owners actually need the most. Whatever that looks like, however your life could be made easier, that's what the VA is all about. I talk about it in my book, Hire the Right Virtual Assistant. And you'll see it says how the right VA will make your life easier, create time, and make you more money. When those characteristics are present, the results become transformative. And you will regain control of your schedule. Spend less time buried in operational tasks. Have more time to focus on strategy and growth and enjoy the work that you love, the thing that you do really well, the reason you started your business. None of this will happen because you hired a unicorn. It will happen because you hired the right VA. You created the right expectations for yourself, for your business, and for the assistant who will come in and be assigned those things to do. It's about creating right expectations, right strategy, something designed for success. When people ask me, Melissa, how do you have such a high success rate? 98% is really high. I said, it's simple. I set everyone up for success. If I don't think I will be successful, I don't take on the client. Meaning, if you're looking for a unicorn, I will tell you, I don't know that person. But if you're thinking about hiring a virtual assistant, remember, unicorns don't exist. It's actually good news. I'm trying to help you here. I don't want you to be disappointed. I don't want you to think that assistants can't do a good job. But when you stop searching for mythical perfection and start expecting the qualities that truly matter, hiring the right VA becomes not only possible, but effective. I cannot stress it enough. Hiring process that's not effective is not a process. That's why some of you haven't been successful. If you're thinking, Melissa, great, what's the next step? I have it for you. First, I have the self-assessment pod class that's going to help you set expectations for what you need. It also comes with the vetted VA list. I have the PVA interactive hiring workbook that walks you through my complete process. So no matter what type of learner you are, I have something that'll take you through that. Of course, you can read my book, Hire the Right Virtual Assistant. But if you would say, Melissa, I do not have the time to get it right, I can't afford to get it wrong, please help me, then great. Book a consultation. The link is in the show notes below. And again, if this has been helpful, please like, subscribe, leave a review. I read them all. Share this episode with a friend, a business owner, a colleague who is more than ready to hire the right virtual assistant, but they've just been looking for the wrong person. All right. I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.